This is your girl Anik, and it is Chit Chat Tea, where we have those hard conversations. But today it will be a very enlightening, I must say, an easier conversation because it is actually Father's Day, and I want to just come on here and show some love and throw some acknowledgement to the fathers that obviously have been active in your children's life. Um, I was watching Miss Donna's live, and she was trying to basically, get fathers that took on kids that was not their own, Jackie Pitney. And that she was a proud Jackie child, even though she had her biological father. You know what I'm saying? She knew that the person that accepted her, the stepfather, never treated her no different. And she was having a hard time because the men don't really want to acknowledge that these kids are a jacket, at least on camera. They don't want them to get show, or they don't want to show their own face because some people are afraid that their friends will basically laugh at them. But I want to come on here and spend some time with you guys today. And I want to just get into fatherhood. I am not a father, I am not even a mother, but I've been fathered and I definitely have been mothered. Guys, I just want you guys to tune in because many people don't acknowledge their fathers today. Many people do not deal with their fathers today. Hence why people are the way they are. And I get that many fathers are definitely absent. They're absent in the lives of their children. And a lot of them, when they get old, they somehow feel like those very children should take care of them. We think it's very unfair. When we talk about these things, these are hard conversations. And when we think about fatherhood, I said, you got to be active in your children's life to get the respect. Now, I'm from the Jamaican culture, so within our culture, a lot of parents, whether they're wrong or right, they seemingly want respect that sometimes they may not give, right? Most times we know that we ought to respect our parents, we ought to do things that's right. But we also can say that a lot of our parents, some of the fathers especially, have been absent in the lives of their children. And when they get a little older, they feel as though their children should respect and love them with the same respect and love that initially should have been given. But I'm here to tell you that if you want to build a relationship back with your children, being that you left them or you have abandoned them, just know it's going to take time, right? So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And I can talk about my father a little bit, Mr. Alva Father Foster. He doesn't, my daddy don't be on social media. So I'm chilling with you. I'm gonna be having me a little bit of grapes and I'm just gonna be talking. You know what I'm saying? And my dad, growing up in Jamaica, I'm not gonna say, it was the worst. No, it wasn't. Life was not easy. But my dad has always been a provider in anything that he does. Always provided, always made sure he take care of the household. School time come, you need school uniform, you need all these things. Our fathers have to step in and do these things, right? And back in those times, my father was a breadwinner. Anybody doesn't know who the breadwinner is, a person in the house that's working, that basically bring most of the money in the house. And my father has always provided financially, and we always have a house over our head, a roof over our head. So I can't really complain about the fact that my father wasn't there. But I'm gonna say this: a lot of fathers are there for their children physically, but they're so absent within the same stance with their children. They physically may just give money, like for example, some people give child support and they feel like, well, I'm giving my all to my kids because I give child support. Child support doesn't mean you're being a father. Child support is the basics, you know what I'm saying? And if you got to be put on child support, that basically shows me that somebody had to pull your arm and bend your arm to get you in the courts to pay something for your child. So that's no brownie point over here at Chicha TV. We don't give you brownie point because you pay child support. That is a given, and that is a normal part of being a father. Now, some people don't decide to go into the court system, which is good because when you get tied up in the court system, you can go to jail. Judge, you can really get in trouble behind not paying child support. So I don't really, like when mothers have to go out their way spending money for a lawyer just to get you to do your job as a father. But in my life, my father was definitely physically present when it pertains to providing for the home. My dad was in the home. My parents were married and are still married, now for over 35 years. And I'm grateful. And we know, for a lot of us, we watch our parents, they go through their hard time and stuff like that. But you hope that they will work it out. And you also hope that your father would not, abandon you if you and your mom, if him and, your mother, or, break up, vice versa. You would think that if you decide to live with your mother, your father wouldn't just forget about you. If you decide to live with your, father, your mother wouldn't forget about you. I think all children still want to be present in the lives of their family, a father per se. But moving on, so my father, like I said, was there. He provided, physically for us. He did all that he needed to do, and he granted all these things, right? But as a young woman, I can say, even as an adult, as I'm 31, going on 32 years old right now, I can honestly say he has not always been present emotionally. And I don't say this in malice, because I have a good relationship with my father, as it is, and I don't have an issue, I don't harbor, any hard feelings of the past with my father. But we also have to know that as adults we can talk about these things. So when you're not emotionally present with your girls, a lot of times, especially your female child, they seek that emotional side from a man, and sometimes that man might not necessarily be good for them. That man, a lot of women take beating from man because they were not confident in the relationship, and they weren't taught what an emotional, reflection, or more so like a healthy emotional reflection of a man is, to them. So they go out and they date these men, these guys, and they think, okay, he loves me because he put his hands on me. That proves that he loves you. He rough you up, ever so often, and you think, oh, he just loves me. He just don't want me to do certain things. No, a lot of us, we have lacked that emotional aspect in our lives from our fathers, and because of that, we have sought other means in men, vice versa. Some people now see that emotional effect in the same sex as well, because sometimes a woman may feel like men don't understand. She has always been hurt by a man. Her father has not been in her life, and she feels as though, a woman might be able to suffice, or, replace those emotional lack thereof. Now, let me say this, guys. Nobody will replace the emotional lack thereof but God, I'll say. Because God is your fulfillment in all things. Even if your father gone, your mother gone, your sister gone, God will be your fulfillment in all things. But since we're on the topic of a father, I think that when fathers don't give their kids an emotional being present emotionally, it caused so many women to go in directions that they, otherwise probably wouldn't have done. You know what I'm saying? Think about these things. A lot of times when fathers aren't present, the girls tend to, if they don't have a stable home, or uncles present, or people to guide them when it pertains to love and her finding a partner, a husband, it is not always the easiest task. It is not always simple for her. And you find her struggling through life, struggling trying to find her a man, or at least keep a man, because it's not only that your father was emotionally absent and it affected the way you act in a relationship, but a lot of us, we don't trust men because our fathers have left us, and we think, okay, no man is going to stay with me. The person that was supposed to be the closest to me, which is my father, is now gone. So a lot of women would otherwise think, why would I trust a man? And it has affected your decisions. It has affected you, how you treated your kids. And God forbid, you mistakenly may have had a, baby by a man that you don't like. And then you regret it, and you're so angry at yourself. I would implore you guys, don't beat yourself up because your father wasn't present. I'll say use tools that will help you to be a better father. You know what I'm saying? It's not okay that your father went Lego beast and then you come turn Lego beast. It's not okay that, when you approach your kids, you do certain things in front of them. Now, I think I saw this on Pinkwall, and I want to discuss it. So I saw somebody, we don't know, I don't know who it is that was recording it, because obviously they were behind the camera. But there was two kids, okay? And they had the little kids on this little mini motorcycle. And they had these kids with little, things of weed in it, or blunts, preferably, whatever it is. And it just showing you that these people were playing music and these kids were just smoking and stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? Where are the protection for our children? Why? Because the lack of fathers. Sometimes the mothers don't even know how to be anymore with their kids because the kid need a father. And mothers, do not keep your children from their father unless maybe they're gonna get abused or something. Other than that, do not try to forge a healthy relationship or try to create that bond or let it be possible that that bond be created with a father and a his child. Now I know a lot of mothers think that they are the father and they are the mother too, but I'm going to something very clear to you. You're nothing but a mother. I know you think you can play a father's role, but you can't. God didn't create you to be anything but a mother, and as much as you may have to do everything, a father is a father is a father. Now, guys, back to the emotional part of this. Many fathers don't father because they weren't fathered. And it's not an excuse not to figure out how to father because we have so much tools. You can go on Google right now and pull up things to help you be a better father. So it's very hard when you don't make the effort and then you also come with the excuse of, well, I didn't have my father in my life. I'm going to say this to all the fathers out there. If you didn't have your father in your life, that is not an excuse to not father your children. That is not an excuse to not learn or put yourself in classes or get help from the neighborhood, a mother or somebody that's older than you to teach you how to father. Most of you lay down with a woman and you think you're a man enough, but you're not man enough to father that child that you impregnated that woman with, right? And it's a little aggravating sometimes because a lot of fathers, you like the woman, she was perfectly fine until she got pregnant. Think about it. Half of you should be ashamed of yourself that you're willing to lay down with a woman and then when she bears a seed, because she's a what? A womb carrier and a seed bearer, you forget that you loved and cared about her initially. And it also shows that a lot of you motives towards women aren't correct. But if you are a father today on this here Father's Day, hear us over here at Chit Chat TV. Take the initiative to do what it takes to better your child and yourself. If you know you got insecurities about fatherhood, it is perfectly fine. Nobody not perfect in this world. Nobody ain't gonna get everything right in this world. But what is gonna aunt and taunt you is that when your child grows up and becomes somebody and they look and says, who is this person? You want to be proud of your children accomplishments. And when they have to accomplish things without you as a parent, it's sad. It's very sad. Guys, think about these things. you know think about what fatherhood means to you and share your testimony under this video. So guys, this is your girl Annie Kennedy's Chit Chat TV, where we have those hard conversations. Today I want you to consider the things I'm saying, fathers, and don't be offended, but take it as an offense when you don't do your job. Bye.